This week, we got Israel using weapons from the medieval ages, Trump trying to get rid of income tax, Gordon Ramsay almost dying in a cycling accident, and at the same time, we got a bicycle seat that moves along with those booty cheeks as you ride. All of that news and so much more, so we better get cracking. I already know what you guys are gonna comment. You were late to the midweek video. Well, wrong. I actually missed it entirely, okay? So, next time, come with your facts straight. Otherwise, you know, you're gonna get a biblical level whipping. But let's talk about all of that later, because first, we need to address this. Israeli defense forces are being recorded using a Trebuchet on the Lebanon border, which, for anyone that doesn't know what a Trebuchet is, which I don't blame you, what the hell?
Send these foul beasts into the abyss!
It's basically a type of catapult that was used in the medieval ages. I mean, what year is this? And why is this happening? Honestly, sometimes I really do feel like somewhere around 2020 in the pandemic, like everything since then, it feels like we've stepped into a different reality, right? Oh, and if that wasn't bad enough, there's even a video of one bro lighting up an arrow and shooting it over the wall. We are in 2024, where we have directed energy weapons, okay? Why are we using arrows? And a little side note, we actually do, yes, have directed energy weapons. I thought that it was like some sort of conspiracy until I heard that the UK was developing one. And then I was like, oh, okay, yeah, so if the UK has got one, then you best know everyone else has got one for a minute. Now, back to the task. There is very little context as to why the IDF or even public posted the video, that's first of all, and then also why they're using such an ancient weapon. But all that we do have is speculation, and that speculation is that Hezbollah fighters are using dense foliage on the other side of that wall, so they're trying to shoot weapons that are on fire to burn it all away. And somehow, in terms of the wild shit that happened in the last week, this is actually low down on the list, because it gets crazy. Moving on. So, let's talk about tax. Because yesterday, Donald Trump floated the idea of completely eliminating all income tax for every American out there. And if you think that's too crazy to be true, hear this. It's actually possible. Yes, I did my research. But here's why you wouldn't actually want it to happen. It's always too good to be true, isn't it? So in a private meeting with lawmakers, Trump apparently spoke about a plan called the all-tariff policy. Now, the idea is if tariffs, which is like a tax on things America imports, were raised, the federal income tax could be completely eliminated. So you make your money and it gets to your bank, you're not paying any of that. You're not giving any of that to the government. But here's the little sneaky problem. Because on the surface, yes, tariffs are paid technically by the importers. So you wouldn't have to deal with any of that. But these sneaky little importers almost always pass those expenses down to us. Expenses is? I just feel Alex just manipulating me and shaming me for saying expenses is. What kind of edit? These are the kind of things I mess up on camera, and the first thing that comes into my head is, what is Alex gonna do to me now? Expenses is Patronum! Where was I? Expenses is. All of those tariffs are passed down to us, the consumer, through the prices. So, for example, if Walmart, the country's largest importer of goods, were suddenly told, you now have to pay 25% more tariffs on everything you bring in, when you go to the Walmart checkout, expect all of your shopping to be at least minimum 25% higher, probably even more. So if we did replace income tax with higher tariffs, everyday necessities like food, clothing, electronics, vehicles, equipment, all of that would immediately increase in price. And while this trade-off might be a fantastic deal for everyone who has that fat tax bill, for people in the middle and lower income households especially, well, this is not the best deal in the world, is it? Another major issue with this idea is how much Trump would have to increase tariffs by for it to work. To completely replace the current amount of money that the government gets from tax, Trump would have to increase the average tariff rate by around 85%. And prices going up by minimum 85%, I don't even need to explain to you how much chaos that would cause. So while yes, theoretically, on paper, It is possible. Donald Trump saving us all from taxes seems to be a little bit more of a political move than a realistic one. I mean, you know what they say, there's two things in life that are certain, taxes and Dylan being late on a video. Let's move on. Okay, this next one is hilarious. Something else that happened this week is a man is now preparing to sue Apple for more than $5 million after deleted text messages he sent to an escort were discovered by his wife. Think about it. That has to be the biggest responsibility dodge I have ever seen. This man has not read Jordan Peterson. So Richard, which is not his real name, told the Times on Sunday that his... Okay, let me just keep a straight face when I read this to you. He told the Times on Sunday that his divorce is a direct result of the text he deleted from his iPhone still being visible on his family Mac. That's the reason his marriage fell apart. Not the cheating, that. He said that his wife was on the family computer when she saw the last text message he had sent to another person's iPhone was to a prostitute. There must have been some context in there because I'm sure it's not saved as like prostitute 1. And when she looked further, she found several years worth of deleted messages to prostitute. And this man is trying to blame it on Apple. 7 years. Oh my Lord. Now she unsurprisingly filed for divorce within a couple of weeks. And Richard responded by engaging a London law firm claiming that if he had just been able to talk to her rationally rather than her finding out in such a brutal way, their marriage would still be a marriage. I'm sorry, this is ridiculous. Oh, no way. No way. Okay, listen to this. It gets worse. He said, "We were very happily married and had been for over 20 years. I think that what had been a superb marriage has been thrown away for something which many men do, and some women do, but mainly men." Now he's trying to normalize cheating, saying it's a man thing. Don't worry. Hey, yo, who is Richard for real? So he is now suing them for the $5 million. Whoa, he lost $5 million in his divorce. Okay, brother is rich. So yeah, he's suing Apple for $5 million plus legal fees. So moral of the story, Richard will rather go to war with the second richest company on the planet than say it was his fault. Oh, and actually, before I forget, he is even attempting to turn this into a class action lawsuit. He said if there is anyone else out there that this has happened to as well, then it could become a global issue and the lawsuit could be up to $1 billion. I don't know how many people are out there that think like you, Richard. If there is anyone out there that feels like Richard does, I don't think we can even contact him. Because I don't know his name, I don't know anything about him. Anyway, moving on. And we are moving on swiftly to the world's first bicycle seat that moves along with your booty cheeks as you ride. Now it's called the Booty Clapper 5000. No, it's not. It's called the Vabs Rider. Sorry, Booty Clapper's better. And it was invented by a civil engineer from Australia who says that since the bicycle was invented over 200 years ago, the bicycle seat has been a pain in our ass, literally. No Diddy, though. Oh, there was something else about Diddy that I saw. Oh, yeah. This is not even in the things that I wanted to talk about, but it was funny. Diddy has had to give back the keys to New York City. Back to New York City. Why did I even want to say it? Yeah, I mean, now that I say it isn't as funny, but when I saw it, I thought, okay, let me just continue. No, actually, let me not continue, because you know why I thought that was so crazy? Is that someone like Diddy had the keys in the first place. How does this happen? Like, I don't know, compare all of the shit. Like, this man has been a
corn casserole,
as we can see, for a very long time. And it always seems to, let me continue. Stay on track. All right. Where was I? The inventor said that with a traditional seat, no amount of cushioning can compensate for the pain points on the human body. And that's why his split seat design is so revolutionary. It transfers the pressure from the sit bones to the femurs, distributing it evenly. And I mean, you know what's crazier about this situation? More crazy than the design itself? I posted this video as a short on my Instagram and it got like around 300K. I then got a message from someone saying like, man, someone has just taken your video and posted it without crediting you and it's doing really well. I go on this old lady's account and like, I don't mean that to like, why is this flying around? I don't mean that to offensively. It's just important for this story. And her video, well, my video, but her video got over 18 million views. She didn't change anything. It was just on her account. Yeah, so, I mean, I guess it just shows you that sometimes if you are creating content, it's not always about the video. Sometimes it is, but other times it's just you're fighting the algorithm, and boy, Can she be a cruel mistress? And so if you do want to help this video out with the algorithm, please like, comment, and make sure you subscribe. I'm actually serious. I can see you not liking the video. Just like it. Love you. Or this will happen. Or this will happen. Oh, okay. I think that hit my calf. Talking about bikes, this is why you always need to wear a helmet. So Gordon Ramsay posted a pretty shocking video yesterday saying that this week he was in a very serious bicycling? Oh God, Alex. Oh God. Expenses is bicycling. He was in a very bad cycling accident and he said he was lucky to be alive. He then lifts up his shirt and he shows this massive, deep purple bruise on the side of his torso. And damn, I kind of wish I never saw that because it just so happened to be at a time where I was considering buying a bike and cycling to the gym every morning. But I'm going to be cycling on a lot of like main roads. And I saw this and I was like, man, I cannot afford to have that happen to me. You know how many videos I would be late on? You know how many comments I would get from you guys saying, you're late? You know how many people I'd have to whip? Man, too much. So I might just have to like run instead. Get some good running shoes instead of a bike. Oh, and for all of you smart people saying like, oh, well, you can't wear a helmet for your torso. Well, just listen, because he also posted a picture on his Instagram showing his cracked helmet, saying that it doesn't matter how short the journey is, whether you're just nipping to the gym. It's actually a pretty long ride, okay? So it was quite a decision to make. Anyway, God, my lords, getting sidetracked today. He says that it is crucial. It is not a choice. You need to wear one because if he wasn't wearing one, he wouldn't be here today. And I will be presenting very different news today about him being dead. Just to put it frankly, I guess. So anyway, always wear a helmet unless you're riding the Booty Clapper 5000. In that case, maybe get like a crotch helmet because you don't want your friends slipping in there and getting swing. I couldn't even imagine the edit that Alex will make for that one, and I really hope he doesn't.
Introducing the Ball Saver 5000. Now with ball-saving technology used by NASA.
Moving on. Okay, what else happened this week? The Euros started, and this one, I'm not gonna lie, I have a bit of passion behind this one because I'm a very big football fan, and this is, we wait every 2 years, well, every 4 years for the Euros, but every 2 years for a major competition. So, because we're only 3 days in, I want everyone to put their predictions on which country is going to win the Euros. Then, I reckon we can come back to it once the Euros is finished and highlight the comments who were actually right. And then we can do some, prize or, a giveaway or something, because that would be really fun. So, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to put it in the comments, who do I think will win? And shock, it's England. Genuinely. I honestly think we have the strongest team. Only thing that's a little bit dodgy is that we crack under pressure when it comes to the quarters, the semis, and obviously the final. But we're the favorites, so put it in the comments and let us get to what news we are talking about. Okay, so the video I wanted to show you was this. Italy played Albania last night. And even though Italy beat them 2-1, I honestly think the Albanian fans should be given the title for the best taunt of the competition so far. I know it's just snapping spaghetti, but something about this really got to me. And let's be honest, it's so much better than what the English fans did. They are disappointing. Last night, before their first match of the competition even started, massive clashes broke out between the Serbians and the English fans. But media say that it was the English hooligan fans that started all of it. They said a rampaging group of English hooligans attacked a bar where Serbian supporters were drinking before the match. Apparently, the English supporters started throwing bottles, chairs, and other projectiles at the Serbians before around 200 German riot police arrived on the scene. 200 police is a lot, but 200 German police? Whoa, that's scary. So far, there are no reports of any arrests because the English fans conveniently fled the scene. It's going to be a long tournament. Oh, and these are the Dutch fans. Holy insane. Okay, now let's move on to our last story of the day. Because everyone needs to just calm down about these Russian nuclear submarines off the coast of Florida, because it's not what it looks like at all. This week, I was seeing insane posts like US on full alert in search of rogue Russian submarines. 9.1 million views. The US Navy is being deployed in Miami due to Russian warship and nuclear power submarine threats. Panic in the Pentagon as Russian fleet conducts war games near the US coast. Nuclear missiles can hit the East Coast in 2 minutes. The construction of a Russian military and naval base off the US border is not excluded. And you gotta understand, even though there were dozens of these posts, only these four got a collective 35 million. And boy, did it scare a lot of people, because my DMs were flooded. So let me set the record straight. Yes, there were Russian ships that passed by the US, but they only passed by. They were headed to Cuba, and they were in international waters, which they are allowed to do. Cuba and Russia also informed the US that they were going to be passing by. The submarine is not carrying any nuclear weapons and is only nuclear powered. The US said themselves that their passing by was not a threat at all, and they expect to see this kind of thing again in the future. Oh, and as far as the construction of a Russian military base, the only mention I could find was an article from 1962. So yeah, don't worry about it. If you're really scared, hit me up, I'll do the research, and I'll come and we'll talk about it. We'll just chop it up on here. Anyway, I love you guys, and I will see you for our midweek catch-up on Thursday. It will be Thursday, don't worry. Love ya!